Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Settlement Survival. Hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. We're kind of in a not grand situation right here. So it's May, a couple of months into the year, of course. We have a good amount of our farms up and running. We got all of the things switched over from pumpkins to oats because it's slightly better to have oats. If we go here, I'll show you. Or maybe it's over here actually. We have pumpkins that are 6 per grid and oats are 8, so they're slightly better. So we swapped everything over to 8 to oats. But now, as you can see, we got a couple meat pups running around, and that's going to be an issue until harvest season because then there's food. But we need to do something about that more or less right now. So because it is working season on the farms, we don't have a ton of laborers. A lot of them have been dying of starvation. So what I do have currently marked out is for them to go ahead and grab some of those plants around town. You can see the little bit of marks that we have there. But as I said, since we don't have any more laborers, we don't really have anybody to go and do that. And this is like a very, very recent development here, like right before I started recording. Another issue we have is our health is not great and our smiley faces are not great. So two, like the main things that we have to worry about with this down here, the health and happiness, we're going to work on that a little bit in this episode. So here's our caravan coming back from those cats that we sold. The one cat, I think it was. So we got a little bit of money. We also have a ship that's about to pull in. So with this little bit of money we got Francis working the dock. I think we're going to hope, let's hope that this ship has some money or has some food on it. In addition to this going on here, I'm hoping that we can get this fishing dock done, since we should have planks soon here. We have a sawmill going on. It's waiting on timber. And then we can start to make some more fish and have 2 things on fish. And we'll really get going with the food here. Now we got back up to 4 laborers because our caravan people came back. So we have those guys now, which is great. So let's see what this ship has. So I'm going to slow the game down just a touch here. Well, all the way. And let's see what we got here. So oats, steak, corn, porcelain tears, bunny ears, leather shoes, luxury bedding, wine, candy, and coal. So a couple things here that I really like. Steak and corn. No, we have oats. Let's go ahead and it doesn't matter if we get oats or corn here. But I'm really thinking we get like as many as we can. So cats were about 850 a piece, right? So I'm kind of thinking that we just kind of go for it here and we buy a lot of oats because we're gonna have a big problem with more deaths. We already have a handful of deaths. I would like to prevent as many more as we could. So I think what we're gonna do here, I think we're gonna go like 500 oats. That's not a lot, but it is over almost half of our money here. Maybe we even go a little bit more to try and ease us as much as possible. Let's go. You know what? Screw it. Let's go the whole deal. 741. Let's go. We want a little bit for insurance. We'll go like that. So now we have the money to do it. We need to put 1100 in here. That should be a transaction. We should get 1100 oats. I'm gonna hopefully save the townspeople here. So let's go ahead and we'll get that happening. But we're still waiting on a couple of things to get built up around here. We need more timber. You can see here we got all of our houses complete except for this one, I guess. So that's good. Now the timber is going to start to be utilized for these other buildings as well as for planks and for domestic fuels. And we are kind of low on domestic fuels, so it's a high time that we get some more timber coming in. And with this batch of immigrants coming in, that's going to be great to get some trees gathered up right before the winter hits, and hopefully we can make enough domestic fuels that people don't freeze to death. I'm kind of worried about it, so we'll see how that goes. This is still being taken out of there, so that'll be good. It'll take a while probably, but we're losing people in the meantime. So now we're down to 0 laborers. Those 4 people we got back from the trades are now being utilized elsewhere, so not great. We really need to have this harvest come in. We have a water fetcher that died as well, so these immigrants are going to be coming in like the nick of time here. I also think that the immigrants are great, and you do need them. But I think that they also do cause problems, because if we just left this game going like without any immigrants, we would be able to, I think, manage the growth a little bit easier and not have any issues. But I mean, the issues kind of make it a little bit more interesting, and we have to see how do we deal with that stuff. So I think that's good. We do have somebody who just became a laborer. That's awesome. So we are going to take these immigrants as well. We got to get this back up and running, get some more people replenished here. Looks like we lost a couple farmers. Well, not great. Don't want to lose any farmers because that slows everything down. But luckily, These guys are on an agave and a flax, so nothing super there. Oh, look at that. I got people sitting in there and I don't even need them in there. Take those guys out for now. Here's the immigrants on the way here. Let's just make sure that we got all of our food covered. It looks like we do. So with those handful of people we just got out of the mine, let's go ahead and add them as farmers so they can get the harvest in. And then we do have 11 people at the town hall. So that'll be great to get these guys into our town. Let's accept them. We should be able to deal with whatever diseases they have for now, because we're not super far into the game. It looks like our hunters still have people in them, which is good. Let's make sure that our water is okay. It looks like we have an open spot there. Let's get that filled up. And then let's go ahead. We're going to gather all sorts of plants here. So I'm kind of worried about the winter here. We don't have any food stocked up. Like the food that we just gathered for the whole year is now gone. So that's not a good sign. Not good at all. We're going to have to start getting in some more trades going on or something here to make up for us. So right now we only have the one pasture working on geese, which is just fine. I would like to get some more things happening with the animals, but we don't really have a whole lot of control over that. We do already have 2 hunters' huts, each with 3 people in them. So we're working on it, but we got a little bit ways to go yet. And it looks like we're in the green now with our hearts. It just changed as I was looking at it, and our smiley faces are not great. But with the addition of these research institutes now that they're getting built up, we're going to start to getting research points much more quickly. And the 2 things that I kind of want to get into, if we can, in this episode: bathhouse. Well, I guess we have to do. Okay, we have to ignore that. We don't have any spirits apparently. I want to get to the bathhouse, and I want to get to the theater. So that might be a little bit tricksy to do that. This guy is saying we may need materials unlocked by the tech construction cut stone for this bathhouse. We're going to need 40. We should have linens. I think I'm going to trade for the cut stones. I think that's what my plan is for that, because I don't really want to use up another point into construction cut stone. Eventually, yes, we will have to do that, but I don't want to quite do it yet because I'm kind of worried about this. Also, if we can get down into here, entertainment is good. All citizen stress is minus 10%. It's super good. Theater is great, but this has also got cut stone and brick. So this is kind of more getting into the next tier of things. So we do want the calcining kiln under mining here. This guy, we do need that. So I'm not really sure what my plan is going to be here. We'll probably go with bathhouse first, get the health really under control. Then we're going to have to go into here and get that, and then we're going to start working on the theater. Because, I mean, we could trade for this stuff, but I mean, that's kind of a lot. We're gonna need to get it going here at some point anyways. So it looks like winter is upon us now. We have 480 food stored up. That's not gonna be enough. That's definitely not gonna be enough. We have a little bit of a red margin here, but it's worse than that for sure. So let's make sure that our farmers are in here. It's November, so we have quite a lot of time before they are going to be starting to work in the fields here, but I want to get them accounted for and ready to go in the next season. So let's go ahead and we'll go with staple foods, and we'll go oats there, get that happening. So that's pretty good. That's 7 people. I'm tempted to go another worker there, but let's just see quick. I want to make sure that we're good to go. What do we got for food coming in here? 95. Okay, versus this 462. I'm trying to decide if I want to use some pastures instead of farms, but I don't know if that's going to be a good thing here. So let's call this about 100. So if we have one farm that's making 300, so I'm thinking 100 food per person here, then we should be looking pretty close to even, and this is 462. So I think just based off that, it would be better for us to go with more people on the farms instead of just one-offing these pastures for workers. It'd be close, but I think it'll be better to use a farm. And I would really like to get a fishing dock working, but like I said before, we don't have the planks, so it's on our list. It's kind of on the back burner right now, though. We got a bunch of trees and stuff earlier close to the town, like in the town too. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark all those guys for gathering so that we can get those picked up. And then now it's January, so we're gonna start planting in a couple months here. But I would like to try and gather out more trees, but because these are further away, I mentioned before, they get cold. People will get cold and start to freeze to death, so we want to try to avoid that. Looks like we had a labor and a farmer die of old age. Luckily, the farmer was able to be replaced, but not great. Oh, the happiness. This is the problem. I mentioned this, and I tried to do something about it, but something isn't working for whatever reason. Lack of raw materials We have 1,200 stored up. Do we not have any in here? Weird. I don't know why that's not working. It definitely should be working. But let's get this other distillery working. And then once we do that, then we should be able to be okay with spirits, start to get our happiness back up. We won't have to go down that tech tree that I was talking about. We don't have to do this, I guess. I would like to get Calcid and Kiln anyways. It's definitely an important thing to have. And also, of course, the bricks and the sand and the glass. But we do that too. But maybe we do go construction, cut stone, and grab this, and then we'll have that process being able to be started because it's an important thing to get. Maybe we just do the bathhouse. We'll see. We'll see what we end up with. Hopefully, we get more than one tech point this episode. I'd like to have that, at least 2. I did notice that we got a notification that we found another critter, so we now have access to buffaloes, which is huge. It's awesome. These guys are gonna give us meat, leather, fats, and poops. We get the poops, we get the goose and the feathers off the goose, but this is just a little bit better. I like these buffalo guys. They're pretty good. And then we can start to use a butcher to make buffalo meat into meat chops, which we get an additional 5 per stack, whatever the stack is. I think it was 20 to 25. So it's pretty decent. A little bit of bonus there. This guy's getting built up. We have enough workers to deal with it. We have a box floating down that we can't do anything with. So that's great. We should be okay here. We are in the green with food now. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, and I missed. Okay, let's see if we can get some more people working in here. 3. Okay, we'll leave the 2 for now. It might not even work how it is. So the sawmill is good to go. Let's go ahead and we'll get some planks started. 200 is pretty good. I'm gonna go like 100 for now. I don't want to go too wild on the planks because wood isn't super abundant right now. I mean, it's around, but we have to gather it, right? So I'm not gonna go crazy with that just yet. Let's go ahead and gather up some of these loose plants that are hanging out over here. I feel like those guys grow back really, really quickly. I feel like we just did that. And we have our mines going for coal to supplement our domestic fuels, so I want to keep those workers in there. Those are good to go. We'll see. We have a couple more farms even than last season, so hopefully we get a little bit more solid, get a little bit more figured out here. And then we got the buffalo too, so that's great. I might, as these buffalo get more and more, like if we have multiple buffalo here, I'll probably spread these out into a different pasture. There is a disaster that happens that can affect your animals. We aren't playing with disasters on, so it's not really a big deal in this case. But just so you know, if you are playing with disasters, there's a thing that can infect your critters. So you want to have at least 2 of each critter if you have disasters on, in case that happens. Gotta finish that road up. This thing's almost done, so that's gonna put us down to 1 laborer, unless I shift somebody out. This needs to happen, so let's get this working. So we got our both distilleries working. Our happiness should start to change to reflect that. As you can see, we just got frowny face, only 2, not good. So what's happening here, potential crimes, namely that's going to be like murders. People are going to start to be dying from that. Unwilling to procreate, that means our birth rate is really, really low. And then our work efficiency is down 20%, which is a pretty big deal. So we got to get this happiness back up as soon as possible. Like I said, we're doing that with our spirits. It should work pretty quickly once we get the industry back up and running. We have agave for a while. And we're going to have some more at the end of the year, so hopefully we can get this working. We really need it. And in the meantime, we have 0 laborers because our cleric died. So we got to do something here. I might have to shift somebody around, or just I have to really watch this and make sure that we don't have a key person die. What I mean by that is, like, if your cleric dies in the church, if your doctor dies, this is detrimental if you don't replace those guys like right away. So it's something to keep in mind. Our water is still not doing great, so we do need another well. So maybe I'll decide a spot to put that. We can't really, I don't have anybody to work it is the issue here. So this is why I like reservoirs, because this guy right here, the reservoir, it's huge. The amount of water you get is just so worth it. And this only takes sand and clay and stone, so it doesn't take the worked materials here. It doesn't take glass, it doesn't take brick or cut stone, so it's the basics. So I like these guys for sure. And maybe we do that instead of the bathhouse, because it is simple and because we are also red in the water situation. And if we run out of water, people are gonna be thirsty, and they're gonna be dehydrated, and then we can't make spirits, and then it's kind of a cascading effect of doom. So I want to avoid that. So I think what we'll do here, we are gonna go to construction first. Not construction, mining. We're gonna go sand mining. We're gonna get some sand pits started here. So these guys are gonna be the source of the sand and the clay. Let's activate that, and then we'll get a couple of those guys going. This building, we're gonna have a lot of these. It's a pretty important one here, and it looks like our road is just a little bit too far away, so I'm gonna have to do a couple of things to get this lined up okay. And there we go, like that. So I'm gonna do at least one knot right now for clay and one for sand. So we'll probably be, I feel like you need a lot more clay than sand because you use bricks for a lot of different things. So eventually we'll have many more of these guys. But for now, let's get these things started. We don't have any laborers on the timeline, which is an issue because, I can't have anybody to work these because we don't have anybody to work. So hopefully we find those guys soon, or we get our birth rate back up quickly. You can see that we are +1 here on our red bars. So that means our spirits are getting to the town slowly, but it is working. So hopefully soon we can get that figured out. I don't think any of our laborers died, or our farmers died over here. It looks pretty good. We are up to 2,600 food. Pretty great. So let's just see. Look at that difference. Okay, that might be a little bizarre. It might be a little bit high. So we'll wait. But I think we got our food figured out okay for now. So maybe we don't want any more immigrants coming in just yet. But I'm really happy with the farms. So that's working. We got our distilleries working well. We got our buffalo in here. Got tech points, so things are coming together. We'll get these things built up. So it is October. We can go ahead and mark some things for gathering. And again, we're going to gather a bunch of trees and everything that's up over there. We want to grab a couple plants. These guys that are hanging out over here, some reeds over there. We aren't using reeds really yet, but might as well get them picked up. We will eventually. And we'll go ahead and chop down a bunch of trees, get some wood going. It looks like our domestic fuels are not great for this year. Only 85. So I'm kind of worried about that. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can whip up some more before it gets too bad. It looks like I really like this. Okay, I really like this ad that they did here. So because I ran out of timber, it automatically swapped to using our animal dung. Super nice to keep your stuff going. I really like that feature. Thumbs up for me, devs, on that one for sure. Okay, it looks like we got 2 people more as laborers, which is just great. This cemetery is getting kind of, well, it's about half full. So 72 is the cap on that guy. So I think what we're going to do is let's get another one started. And then I think I'll turn it off right away because we don't want to, well, it's expensive. I don't want to start filling it up. I want to use this one as a backup while we're replacing this one. So let's get this one built. And then once this one's ready, then we will use this one and then delete this one and then rebuild it. So let's get that marked as it is. Okay, and then we almost have another tech point, and then we can grab that clean water. So look how quickly those 2 research institutes have affected our technology. Pretty great. Sand pits, this one's almost ready. This one needs a little bit more wood. And then we should be okay for some more domestic fuels. Yep, okay, we're back to timber over here. That's excellent. And it looks like they got all that stuff gathered up that quickly. Pretty good, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll gather all again. I think I'm going to push out this way a little bit. Well, there's a lot of rocks and stuff over here, so let's grab those. And I also want the trees, of course, so we'll do like that. We have 5 laborers now. I'm happy with that, and we're up to 4 frowny faces, so it's going in the right direction. As we saw before, it's 3, and now it's 4, so it's working for sure. I might even want another distillery here to really make sure that we're doing what we need to do. So I'm going to queue it up. And we'll get it working here. This should maybe not right there. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna pause this. I think, yep, I didn't think so. So what I want to do instead of that right there is I want to do some more sand pits. It's so hard to find good banks here, like where you can build stuff. Like you can see, it's like that. Those are one little things are just screwing us up here. So I do want to get this guy in here. I don't think I can work it. I don't think I can do both. I think it's got to be one or the other, and we have to go with the sand pit because it has to be in the water. The distillery can be anywhere, so we'll go ahead and we'll put that guy there. We have it built, we don't have to think about it anymore, and then we'll be good to go. And I think what we'll do here, we'll do a little bit of storaging. Ooh, a group of wild geese made their homes by the field, not only pecking at the seedlings in the field, but also attacking passerby in groups from time to time. Slaughter the goop or tame them. Yeah, I don't really need the geese. We have geese already, so I'm gonna take them out. After some struggle, the farmers eliminated this group of geese that harmed the farmland and the citizens. And, oh, we got a lot of food out of that. That was the right choice in that case. We really need that. But what I was gonna say here is, for storage sake, it looks like I can't do a warehouse unless I delete that one row. That might be what I need to do. We'll get a storehouse over there, and then we should be looking pretty good for that stuff over in this side of the world. So we'll get that guy going. We'll do a little bit of a dirt road and get that happening. And then, like I said, we do want to do another distillery. So I will go ahead and we'll put one. Can I get one over here? Nope. We'll get one right there. That'll be just fine. This thing still needs a few more rocks. That's fine. These guys are good to go with 2 workers apiece. Kind of a lot. We'll get it started though. We'll get it started, and those guys will be ready to go. What are we still waiting for? We need. That's getting built. That's getting built. What do we try to build there? Having a blank. Oh, now I remember this guy. Clean water. We'll get that working. Okay, so now we got to build a couple more things along the river here, and you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, there, you need a lot of space for this stuff, and they're kind of weird shapes sometimes. We'll be able to put that reservoir there, and I'm holding shift here and build a couple because we will use the water. We'll just start with 2 for now. Takes 2 people in each, I believe, if I remember correctly. And so we will utilize them for sure. Let's go ahead and get a road there and get a road there. Okay, awesome. See this guy calling for sand and clay. We should be able to handle that shortly. Got this guy working. That's good. Do we have any more critters or anything else that we need to plant that's new? Okay, we have geese, we have buffalo. Okay, that's new. All right, we have those guys. And then that's it for plants. So if we got corn, I would throw corn in, but we don't have that yet. So just hold up. Food still looking good. 2,300. It's almost been a year, so I think we got the food figured out. With these reservoirs, the water will be figured out for a little while as well. We do kind of looking at the medicine here. We need to go all the way down to the nursery and herb knowledge to get medicine. So it's something to kind of consider. We need 4 points for that as well. We'll get to it eventually, of course. Have to, really. Because we won't be able to sustain ourselves by just picking up the stuff around the town here. Let's go ahead and we'll do a little bit more gathering all. It is May, so these guys have a little bit of time yet before they stop working on the field. So we'll just get some gathering started with the 2 workers that we got. It should be okay for now. Nobody died there, so that's good. Still working how we want it to. These guys are still working great, and we got some tailoring done. So we are up to cap now. We're up to 500. So I think we'll just turn this guy off for now, unless we want to get something else happening here. So leather we have, and can we do leather and linens? Oh, we can't do leather and linen. That's too bad. But we do have leather and feathers, so we could do that. That might be good. A little slightly better clothes. So the durability on the down jackets are 450. The rough clothes are 400. So slightly better. Not that much more to make. We're producing linens. We're producing feathers. So let's go ahead. Maybe we do want to have this guy working. I think what I'll do is I'll switch. Take one person out of there and we'll move them over here, and then we'll go ahead and do the down jackets. So then we'll have both coming in. I think that'd be great. Okay, so we got our food under control. We got our water under control pretty good here. We got sand and clay coming in. It looks like our rocks are in the red a little bit, but that's because we have to gather all that stuff by hand. So it takes a little bit longer. Now we got 1 birth, so the happiness is getting better. We're up to 5 now. We have an immigrant on the timeline as well. So that's awesome. Good to have that stuff coming in. Our flax and linens looks like we're using up more flax than we are producing. So we might need to swap one of these fields for another flax. How's our agave stock? Okay, agave stock is good. That's awesome. Let's swap this guy to flax seeds for next season. I'm not going to do it now. And then these guys are producing. Everybody's doing great. We got water. Okay. Awesome. Things are working out pretty good here. We almost have our other sandpit done. I'm not gonna put anybody in there though, not quite yet. But we still need a couple more things for the fishing dock. And it looks like we're working on them. So we'll get the fishing dock here done soon. We need 8 more planks for that. But we'll get that managed out pretty quickly here. With these immigrants too, I'd like to get some mines started. So we have iron now. So that'll be good to have. We won't have to just gather it up. There's still plenty around town. We got some there, got some there, whole bunch right here. So we have some to pick up before we really go super hard on the mines. But it'll be nice to get that figured out too once we are able to do so. Okay, so we only have 2 laborers. What we could do is move 2 out of here, and we could do some trading. We could start another trade because we do have a lot of iron now. So we have a decent amount of clothes too. What I'm thinking about is maybe we do a little bit of trading. So that's gonna put 0 laborers. I don't really want 0 laborers though. I don't really know if anywhere else that we can shift people out of. Maybe these wells once reservoirs are done, but we'll see. I could take 2 people out. Oh, now we're at 0 laborers. Okay, well, too busy thinking and talking, but that's okay because we replaced the blacksmith and a doctor, so 2 key pieces that were able to be replaced, which is good. So our warehouse here is full, so that's mostly full. That's an issue, so we need to figure that out. We need to have another warehouse. This one is got a little bit of room, but let's see. Can we get this up here? We could do a smaller warehouse right there. Maybe I want to do that, but I think we'll get this guy about right in here. Oops. Oh, anyways, that'll work. And then do we have a smaller one? Yeah, we do. Great. This guy right here. And that should work perfectly, right? Oh, not quite. Okay. That's okay. Because what we can do instead is a storage yard. Luckily, these guys can be any old, awkward, weird shape. 8x3 right there. And then 5x3 right there. So I want to have those there because it's for efficiency's sake, right? If this is full and they they're ready to go, they have the harvest in, but there's no warehouse for them to put them in, they're wasting their time. You can see we already have things coming in over here, and then once we have this warehouse in there as well, that's even better. So then they'll have 2 spots to be able to go to turn stuff in, and then we'll be able to go back to the field and harvest some more and keep that up. 4,600 food now. We're crushing it with food. We got that figured out for sure. That looks like this guy. Oh, that's where our 2 people went, into a sand pit. Okay, so now we're up to 4 laborers. We could begin our trade that we were thinking of. And how do we not have enough sand for those things yet? Really? That's crazy. Maybe, do we need more builders? No. Well, we could use another builder, but we don't need them. But I think, oh yeah. Let's get let's do some trade. Let's get the trade started here. So I'm gonna stop the game because if we don't, we'll lose our things before we are able to set up the trade. So we'll do that. We are going here because we want the dense things, these. But I think we mentioned going to Carlos too so that we could grow some cactuses. But now that I feel like we have our food okay, I think I'm going to continue to go here so that we can get our dense stuff figured out. So let's go ahead and we'll do that. Actually, because I don't have a lot of money, whatever. We'll figure it out. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to sell some iron ores. We have 621. I'm going to go with 300. We'll sell that. Oh, I can't. That's way too heavy. 200? Okay, 200 is our ticket. So we'll get about 1,000 money back for that. We have to buy insurance. So we have 40 insurance premium there. So 74 was enough to cover that. That's why I left that weird number. We're going to go iron ore. We're going to purchase. Ooh, we need to purchase some dang old medicines, I think, here. I think maybe we just, yeah, we should do that. We should get some medicines. We'll do a, oops, it's herb, not med. Herb. Okay, and then let's go ahead and we got 1,000. So cats are about 850. Let's go with like 100. We'll purchase that. Come back. So the main reason I want to do this trade is so that we can get that rep working. That's the main thing. But we'll get it formed up. It doesn't take that long for them to go out and do it and come back. So hopefully we don't lose too many people here in the meantime. We can always flex people out of the sand pits. Maybe we'll do that right now so that we're ready to go in case it does happen. It is wintertime, but anyways, so it definitely is a possibility. Okay, but everything else looks good. Got a trade on the way. We got a bunch of our water mostly figured out once these things get built up. And we got a buffalo. We got food. We're doing pretty great. I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Settlement Survival, and I hope to see you on the next one.